Good morning, world. How's your day going so far? Mine has been a little crazy and hectic. Started off getting out of bed. It was, I think, around 5:30-ish. Earl and I went for a 2-mile run this morning, another fast pace, just around 10-minute mile. It was a good run, got me pumped up, got some energy flowing, and it also relieved me of that need to exercise today because today is going to be a very busy day for me today. But it's funny how things can just kind of fall into place when you're starting to feel, and you're just ready to pull your hair out and I can't do it all. And then there are signs from the universe that just say, it's okay, take a deep breath, pause, and then move on. So the first thing that happened as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today for my bit of bravery, and I had decided when I was out running, I came up with something I hadn't thought about before. Just kind of popped into my head, when you're walking or running or exercising and your mind is kind of free flowing. So I came up with my topic for today. Good morning, Mary. And then I came home, and as I was starting my day, I pulled this oracle card, which is celebrate differences. And I thought, wow, that really ties into the story that I decided to tell today. So that was sign number one that I was on the way. And then let me just open up my phone. I got an email from a woman named Bridget Murphy, and she leads Spirit Works Healing Arts. And I will put a link to her page in the comments after I finish this video. But this was the spirit whisper that she sent me today. Today's whisper: the birds know how to ride the wind. When it blows, they open their wings and trust the wind to carry them. Is it time to open your wings and trust the wind to carry you? Kind of gave me goosebumps. That one also ties in to today's story. So if you read the description, you know I'm going to talk about when I was 21 years old. I was single. I was in the Air Force. I was stationed over in Ramstein, Germany. It was a beautiful base, multicultural base. It was headquarters for U.S. Air Forces in Europe. We were a NATO base. There were Germans and Belgians and French and English and Canadians, and I'm sure we had so many other nationalities there. I was very quiet and shy, so I just kind of stayed in my own little world. I lived in the barracks, and we were overcrowded. There were 3 of us young women living in one room, and it was crowded. It was uncomfortable. They both had boyfriends, so I was hearing things, I don't want to hear. I was very naive and innocent, and I was given the opportunity to move off base. Now, if you are familiar with the military culture and some of the benefits, if for most single military members, you stay on base in government provided housing. But if there's a shortage of housing and they offer you the opportunity to move off base to alleviate the housing crisis, then you get paid. You get, it's called BAQ and BAS, so it's sustenance and quarters allowance. So I could move off base. The government would pay for my rent, basically. Again, I was 21 years old. I was super, super shy. The thought of moving off base was terrifying. Here are a few things. I didn't have a driver's license and I didn't have a car. So without a driver's license, who needs a car, right? I would have to rely on public transportation to get to and from the base where I worked. Now, the government did have a bus system that ran, but I would have to be very careful about the time schedules, and so there was going to be a lot of coordination. My options for the communities I could look at to live in were very limited based on these buses. Excuse me. And because my job was a 24/7 operation, I was communications, so I needed to be somewhere where the buses ran the 7 days a week. Found a nice one-room It was basically renting a bedroom from this German couple. It was on Lindenstrasse. And I always remember that because my aunt and my cousin live on Linden Street in Berlin, Massachusetts. So it was a house on Lindenstrasse. I went and I looked at it. It was the only place that I looked at. There was a posting on the bulletin board and on the base or something. I'm not even quite sure how I learned about this apartment. Well, very generous to call an apartment because it was one room. It was a bedroom. And then across the hall was the bathroom. So it was, I think, a 3-story building. And I had a room on the 3rd floor. And then there was another apartment that was kind of behind me. And so they would walk between my room and the bathroom when they were coming to and fro. So I always had to put clothes on to go to the bathroom because, Bob or Kathy might walk out. It was scary meeting this couple. I didn't speak any German. Of all of the things that I regret in life, I don't have very many, but one was that I never took advantage of learning the German language while I was there. The German people were so nice, so friendly, and they were so anxious to practice their English that people like me, we arrogant Americans, we really didn't have to learn the language. And I wish that I had. I missed out on a great opportunity. But you can't go back and change things. So this couple were amazing. They spoke English well enough that we could communicate. I took the room and I lived there for about 16 or 17 months total, I think. And I loved it. It was my own place. It was my first apartment on my own. And once I had moved in and I started talking with other people who were moving off base, I did learn that I was paying a little bit more than they were for much larger places, but it was mine. I felt comfortable there. The couple that lived behind or beside me, Bob and Kathy, they were also U.S. Air Force people, became great friends. I always felt safe. I always felt secure and protected. They pretty much adopted me. My landlords, they pretty much adopted me. I went down and spent quite a few evenings with them, just chatting. And it always touched me. They were wonderful people, but I could see the stamps on their hands. They were both concentration camp survivors. And they never talked about it. And of course, I was never going to ask about that. But when you think of bits of bravery, it took courage for me to move off base. But how much more courage did they face and deal with every single day just to survive? And these are things that we don't always know about people. We don't know the inner struggles. We don't know the things that life has thrown at people. We just kind of look at them and, it can be easy to say, oh, they've got it easy. They've got it made. They don't know what I've been through. And sometimes people have been through horrific things. And we don't understand the courage it takes just to get out of bed every morning, to put a smile on your face, or to say, yes, the world is a wonderful place to live in. So again, on so many of these, I just go a little bit deeper than was my original intention. But my room, my courage to live there, one thing that I enjoyed doing in the evening, if I had a window that was kind of to the side, and if I sat on the windowsill and I held on to the frame and I just leaned out, I could see a castle up on the hill. It was Longstool Castle. It was the remains, just this broken down old castle structure. And it was just my castle, the princess at heart who has her castle. And even though it's run down in the world of my imagination, it was a beautiful castle and it was in my backyard. So finding transportation, going to and from work every day, it was a unique challenge. I wish I had learned the language. It would have made things a whole lot easier. I was shopping off the base. in the community, and that always made me feel uncomfortable. So I tended to go back to the base where I felt safe and secure, comfortable with speaking English, knew that people could speak English. So I kind of missed out on things, but it definitely took a lot of courage for me to move out on my own in a foreign country. We all do things like that, don't we? The first time we move out, the first time we buy our own car, first time we make any type of large investment. It takes a bit of bravery. We do it, we move on. And it's like those birds in Bridget's Spirit Whispers, you know, you see the wind and you just have to ride it because it's there, it's calling to you, and it's time to fly. So today, I hope you'll share a time when you have been flying on a little bit of bravery. And so I'm just about ready to sign off. I do want to let you know that I will not be here tomorrow or Friday. Earl and I are going to go hiking and do a little bit of trail maintaining over in the Grafton Notch area here in Maine. And then when I come back on Monday, I am going to be doing a Facebook Live, but I'm going to take a break from the Bits of Bravery to talk about a new program that I'm offering. And I've been putting it off for way too long. Why? Because I'm scared. I'm scared to put it out there in the world and to share a dream with you. But I'm going to do that on Monday. Okay? So I will see you then. I hope you have a great next couple of days and try to get outside today and enjoy some sunshine or some clouds, just some fresh air. I'll see you soon.